hello there.
Well, hello there, troopers, and welcome back to General Cannabis Bunker. Thank you so much for joining me here on a very special episode of The High Ground. And we got our very first guest for this year, 2024. It still sounds baffling to me. It still sounds like Terminator timeline type of thing, when I say 2024. And yet here we are. And, not so much Terminator, although a lot of AI. But at least people have stopped eating Tide Pods. So I guess we're, making progress in the right direction as humankind. But thank you so much for joining me here on this fine Wednesday night. I hope that you guys are staying warm. It is still kind of chilly out here in San Antonio, Texas. Not as bad as yesterday. We woke up to 17 today, but we warmed up. It is currently, I think, 40 right now. So not horrible. Definitely not as cold as a lot of the people out there in the country. So if you are being hit by this latest snow apocalypse, I hope that you guys are doing fine, that you're staying warm, and that you're using some of the time to catch up on some of your favorite content creators. Shameless plug myself, I do have a few playlists here on the channel that I would greatly appreciate it if you go and check out. We got, of course, past episodes of The High Ground where we have some amazing guests, just like the one tonight. There's toy hunts, there's interviews that I've done, things like that. So if you are so inclined, I would greatly appreciate it if you check out some of those playlists while you struggle to survive, this blizzard. So again, I hope that everybody is doing fine out there. But we got a lot to talk about tonight. So let's jump right into it. Tonight's guest is one of the rising stars in the Star Wars content creating community. And I say that full heartedly because this man is prolific. Also, I blame him completely for me spending way too much money on Micro Galaxy Squadron, possibly a few helmets, and don't even get me started on some of the sabers. Okay, so I yeah, it's his fault. So I wanted to talk to him because I know that this man is gonna blow up this year like crazy. I see it, we all know it. And so without further ado, let's bring in tonight's guest. We got Maclunkey. What is going on, man? Thank you so much for joining. See?
Yeah. What's going on, everybody?
Welcome, welcome. Love the flex. I love that we are color matching too on our backgrounds. So
Yeah.
very
Mine's not
nice.
as cool though. Mine's hiding my not nice organized collection like yours.
Hey, there is a reason why I don't do just white light, because then you can't fully see all the mess that is down there. So, thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you, man, for coming in. Thank you for being our first guest of the
Of
year. Can you
course.
believe that? It's kind of crazy, right?
Thank you.
Um, Also, I forgot to shout out the people on Instagram. Guys, we're trying out this new thing with StreamYard where we can stream into Instagram now, which is cool. However, StreamYard doesn't allow me to show your comments from Instagram. Okay, so I apologize for that. Don't think that I'm ignoring you. I see you. I have you here on my second monitor. I got Brett over there. I got Man Collect. I got Andrew. Hey Archer. So thank you guys for joining. Q66, I see you. Thank you for joining again. But we also got here some of the people from the Bunker Bunch, So thank you guys for always joining, always being here in the chat. And we'll jump in real quick here just to say hi to some people that were actually here even before the show started. So we got Juan saying hello there. Thank you for joining, man. Appreciate you. We got Mr. Hollywood in the house, nerd affiliated, saying yo. Also, nerd affiliated, please just stop with the childhood trauma, man. That review on the Optimus Prime Super 7 Ultimate, he got the lifeless Optimus Prime, from the movie where he's all gray and he's kind of dead and battle damage. I don't know what it is with Archer, but he is on the path to just inflict childhood pain, all over again.
Can't go wrong with Transformers.
Oh, there you go. Love it. Very nice. Home dude saying hello. What's going on, man? We also got Rolando, our multiversal mod, in the house. Always appreciate you, Rolando. Thank you so much for all the help. Rolando saying hi to everybody. Basically, we got the man collects saying good evening, everyone. We got TK Magic Shop. Thanks, man. Saying yo. Rolando saying hi to man collects and TK. We got LeBron Fed, another one of our awesome moderators, saying hello, everybody. Sorry I'm late. We can start now. Appreciate you, man. And we are. Rolando saying hi to LeBron. TK Magic's up saying hi to Rolando and to LeBron and to the man collects. LeBron saying, "Oh, they match." Yeah, man, we called each other before the stream. Like, hey, what are you doing for the background? TK Maxi up saying hi to Nerd Affiliated. We got Jeff, Star Wars Addict 77 saying hello there. Welcome, brother. Appreciate you joining the stream. Man Collect says, hey, Rolando, what's up, LeBron and TK? Everybody saying hi to Rolando. TK Maxi says, I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Not like here. Here, everything is soft and smooth. Love it. And Maclunkey Cast pulling double duty is saying hello to everyone. Appreciate you, man. And everybody saying hi to McClunkley. Of course, we got our brother Elijah saying, hey, Bunker Bunch. Hey, General, what's going on? Rolando dropping McClunky Cast's YouTube channel. Please, please, you owe it to yourself. If you haven't, go check out this YouTube channel, okay? Also, make sure that you follow him on Instagram and on TikTok, but more on that later. Um, Everybody saying hi to Elijah. Elijah saying hi to Rolando. We got Flutter Review saying aloha. What's going on, man? Thank you for joining the stream. Appreciate you, man. Okay, so let's get started. Again, guys, if you haven't, for whatever reason, checked out Maclunkey's YouTube channel, my man is first of all, a Star Wars content creator, right? And if we gotta, I guess, narrow it down a little bit more, I think you've been doing pretty good on the reviews, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so let me show you here real quick what I mean. Excuse me. So this is Maclunkey's YouTube channel, and as you can see, he is very prolific, guys. So you will not be starved for content like you are with me when you go follow him. He has a lot of reviews. He has, like I said, um, I love a man that shares my love for Micro Galaxy Squadron, which you absolutely do. You've covered comic books, you covered helmets, you've covered sabers, you've covered. Um, I didn't see this one, the unboxing of the
Yeah. Yep. I've done a couple. Yep.
physical media. Very nice. So again, guys, definitely go check out McClunkey's YouTube channel. As you can see, plenty of content to keep you entertained. A lot of really good stuff. And but let's jump in with you. So I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that you like Star Wars, right?
A little bit.
Yeah. Uh, so can you take us back, I guess, to the beginning? Do you remember the first time that you fell in love with Star Wars?
I do, and I thought I was going to be asked this question because I have seen the show. I'm a big fan.
Appreciate
Um,
that.
yeah, of course. So I got this ready. So,
Let's go.
one of my first memories of Star Wars was when I was very young, and my grandfather actually had a Nintendo 64.
No way.
He was pretty cool. He was a gamer, and
Nice.
I would go over there. We'd play a couple games, and one of those games was Shadows of the Empire.
Oh, look at that.
Shadows of the Empire, to my knowledge, was my first experience ever with Star Wars.
Wow. Okay.
Um, and because I was, well, this came out in '98,
Yeah.
which was the year I was born.
Okay. There you
Um,
go.
but
It's all right.
but
Don't make me feel old. It's
yeah,
okay. Let's just move on.
yeah. But he had it forever, and I went over and played. And this, besides like the gold VHS sets, uh,
Absolutely.
he had those with the gold coin and all that stuff with it. And but Shadows of the Empire was my first real experience with it, and I believe Revenge of the Sith was my first movie experience. So I
Okay.
saw that one in theaters,
Nice.
and so that was the big thing though when I was growing up. Revenge of the Sith and Shadows of the Empire on Nintendo 64. That was my
Very cool.
introductions to Star Wars.
That's awesome, man. I don't think that I've talked to anybody else where their entry point was actually Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah,
And for everybody out there, that maybe is not too familiar with Shadows of the Empire, again, kids of the '90s,
great.
Shadows of the Empire was basically the best way I can explain it is it was a Star Wars movie event without an actual movie. Okay, they had everything. Okay, they had video games like we just talked about in the consoles of the time. Again, Nintendo 64 around there. They had toys, right? They had comic books. they had graphic novels, they had a whole, like I said, a whole like launch, uh, how can I say it, campaign, right? Like a PR campaign. Uh, but again, imagine like back then, like if a Star Wars movie was gonna come out, but there was no movie, okay? They had all sorts of events, comic book store events, video game store events, all of that stuff. And the story is basically placed within the original trilogy, right? So you got Luke, Han, Leia, all of that, plus a few new characters like Dash Rendar, right? Who you played, you are playing through him
Hmm.
in the game, right? And a lot of the story is of course around him and some of his I guess adventures right against the Empire and helping the rebellion. So that is very cool, man. That is actually, like I said, I don't know that anybody has said, "Oh, my first thing Star Wars was Shadows of the Empire."
Yeah.
So very very cool. Very original too. So you say that Revenge of the Sith was basically your first theater right experience,
Yes.
but by that point, were you keeping up with episode 1 and 2? I mean, you were pretty small, but have you seen had you seen them before?
No, to my knowledge, that actually was the first Star Wars um prequel that I saw.
Oh,
Because
crazy.
when
Okay.
I played the game, my grandfather had the gold set.
Yes.
So I watched the original trilogy, I'm pretty sure,
Right.
but I was still pretty young.
Yeah, I was gonna
But I
say.
remember going to the theaters, seeing Revenge of the Sith, and like I said, I was young, so I'm like, "Oh, this is really cool." And the moment that stuck with me was when General Grievous has 4 arms come out with 4 lightsabers.
Yes.
Blew my mind as a kid. Absolutely was like, "I'm gonna like this forever."
Oh yeah,
So far.
that's awesome. That is one hell of a movie to get started with, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think as you've seen, and I'm sure as anybody else has seen, in other shows, Revenge of the Sith tends to be one of the top picks, for favorite Star Wars movies. Um, it just kind of depends on the age group, right? If you are like me, where you were born a little bit too late for the original trilogy, we tend to definitely gravitate towards Episode 3, and it's kind of funny to see that, I mean, you were basically what, 1 year old when Episode 1 came out.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you didn't, or if you got to see it in theaters, you probably don't remember.
I did get to
Epi-
see the re-release for the anniversary,
there you go, perfect.
so that was
Yeah.
fun.
And so that, to begin with Episode 3, right, being your first experience in theaters, that's kind of crazy. So Episode 3, is your first experience, your first theater experience, right?
Mhm.
You're like, okay, I definitely like this. But then it all goes away for a few years, right? Um, until we got Clone Wars, right? In 2008. So after that, so after Episode 3, and you're like, you know what, I definitely like this. Is that when you go back and be like, okay, so they tell me there's an Episode 1 and 2, I kind of have to check them out now.
So, kind of. When I think about it, I think how it went was I saw, Revenge of the Sith,
Yeah.
and I don't think anyone in my family had, 1 and 2
Oh, no
available
way.
to watch.
Right.
So, I think I just went and saw that one in theaters and had the originals, and I was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna rewatch all these." I knew they were there, but I was really into Pokemon too when I was that age and
Oh,
Zelda,
very nice.
so I
Yeah.
played a lot of that and watched a lot of that. But when Clone Wars came out,
Mm-hmm.
I can remember going to my library and renting that movie
Oh,
on DVD,
very nice.
and I probably thought that was a really cool movie because I
Of
was
course.
pretty young, and, I think I watched the Clone Wars movie before I actually watched, episode 1 and 2, and then that was finally like, "Oh, I can get these at the
Really?
library." So then
Yeah.
I got all of those, and then I was like w that summer we went yard sailing, and I was like, "They're everywhere." You can always find those
Yes.
movies at yard
Oh
sales.
yeah.
I'm finally gonna watch them, and I was hooked. I was hooked on the prequels,
That's
so
awesome. Wow, that is, I gotta tell you, that is an interesting path,
Yeah,
to get into Star Wars. Okay, so you went from Episode 3 to Clone Wars. That's sort of chronological in terms of release, right?
yeah.
But but yeah, I don't know that people have not watched. They watched Clone Wars first, then went back to Episode 1 and 2.
Mhm.
So that's peculiar, man. But that's kind of cool. That's a very original path, to into Star Wars. So let me jump back here into the chat because you guys
Sure.
are on fire, and I appreciate each and every single one of you that has joined the stream since we said hello to everybody. So we got Ricardo saying, "Hello, everyone. I prefer to watch you on the tube. Hey, appreciate you, man. I saw you on Instagram. Thanks for joining." Rolando dropping Maclunkey's cast Instagram again. Definitely go check him out. Go give him a follow. Everybody saying hi to Rolando, Chris. We got Nerfilin saying hi to Rolando. Say hi to Flex, to TK Man Collects. We got Jeff saying hi to Flex. Nerfilin say LeBron saying hi. Sorry to LeBron Addict and Nerd Affiliated says, "Don't talk to me about being a fan if you never played Shadows of the Empire." There
So
you go.
good.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. That is a wild entry point. Dude, I agree. Like I said, that is a very original story, a very original path into Star Wars. Home Dude says, "We need shadows of the movie versus what we may end up getting." Yeah, man. I hear you. I always thought so back then, there was very little internet and I didn't really have access to it, because it was expensive and that's not something, that my parents, had money to splurge on. But I remember reading a couple of magazine articles, right? That's Yes Kids. That's how we got some information sometimes. It was printed and you had to go look for it. It is nuts. And they basically said, yes, we wanted to do a Star Wars movie, right? We wanted Shadows of the Empire to do a Star Wars movie, but all of the actors were already too old, right? And again, this I think they started talking about this around what, like 95, 96, when these ideas started floating out. So Mark Hamill, um, Harrison Ford, Peter Mayhew, um, um, and well, basically everybody was still around, right? But they're like, nah, they're too old, right? They look too old for them to be set back into the original trilogy, which is kind of nuts. So they're like, okay, so we're gonna do it, this way, without actual actors. We're just gonna do everything, digital and printed media. And honestly, the maybe the behind the scenes motive was to see how much interest there was, right, for new Star Wars. Why? Because George Lucas was already thinking, hey, I kind of want to get back into it, right? I kind of want to make more movies. So they did that also as a money grab. I'm pretty sure, to fund some of episode one. Episode was very expensive, by the way, if you don't remember back then. Archer saying Han Solo was so popular they gave us a bootleg one in the game. Yeah,
It's true.
basically, basically. Jeff saying had a nerd affiliated. Um, oh, sorry, that was Elijah. My bad. Saying had a nerd affiliated, and to Jeff, nerd affiliated say, "Dang, we're old. Yeah, we are, man. So shut up." Steven Mercado saying, "Sup, yo? What's going on, man? Thank you so much for joining the stream. Appreciate you." So nerd affiliated has a question saying, "Serious question. Has Maclunkey seen the original trilogy non special edition? There might be a group of young fans who weren't around for that. We're definitely old. Again, stop saying that. I know. But have you watched the let's call them the theatrical release of the original trilogy?
I
The
have seen, I'm assuming it's the same, the despecialized.
Yes, that
Yeah, I
counts.
have those. Yeah,
Perfect.
I burned them to a disc. Don't tell anyone. But
Yeah,
yeah.
so I actually went to so a buddy of mine actually rented a theater and he projected one of those last year, and that was amazing.
I can
Uh,
imagine.
but yeah, I can't say which theater, I can't say which friend, and no, it didn't happen. But yeah, yeah, that counts. So for those of you again that are not too familiar, when it comes to the versions of the original trilogy, it is very hard to get the theatrical release of the original trilogy. There's a lot, that happened in the background as to why Lucasfilm does not make them widely available. The prevailing theory is that George Lucas's ex-wife was heavily involved in those movies, which she was. That is totally true. But supposedly after they split up, she still retains some of the rights for those movies or for that specific version of the movies. And to, again, this is more or less like confirmed, not confirmed type of thing. Um, but that Lucas was like, you know what, we won't show those, we won't produce any physical media for those because we don't want to pay, to her whatever she the rights are owed, right? So that's why the bottom line is that it's very hard to come by the original trilogy, uh, in yeah, I guess in its purest form. Ricardo saying, I'm probably one of the old farts here. I watched A New Hope in the summer of '77 in the theater. I was 8 years old, dude. That's awesome, man. That is awesome.
I wish.
Yeah, right. Same here, man. Like I said, I was born too late. Archer saying, Yo, Mercado. Floor review saying, which is better, Laptinek or Jedi Rocks?
Loptinek.
Ooh,
For
there you
those of
go.
you who don't know, Flutter Reviews is actually my co-star on the podcast.
Right.
So
Very cool, very cool. And speaking of, make sure that you guys check out Maclunkey Cast. So the live stream that these guys do every other weekend, whether it be Saturday or Sunday. So in order to be notified, make sure that you hit that notification bell once you subscribe to Maclunkey Cast YouTube channel. Don't forget it. So go ahead and click that notification bell so that you guys are notified when these dudes do their live stream. We got our brother Daniel, the legacy nerd, in the house saying, Yo, we got Martha. Thank you for coming in. Ricardo saying had a legacy. Juan saying, I'm fan of Star Wars thanks to the good old General. I remember going to theater to see the prequels and doing toy hunts with General for the figures in both USA and Mexico. That is my cousin. So he was younger than me. So I basically dragged him and like, you know what? Nobody wants to go see this movie with me. You're coming. So let's go. And that's kind of how we got into the prequels. Antonio, what's going on, brother? Say, yo, having dinner. Wanted to check in. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for joining the stream. Thank you so much. Luis saying, hey, General Kenobi and friends. Thank you for coming in. Let me check in with our peeps over on Instagram. Like I said, I kind of wish this thing would let us, display some of the
yeah,
comments. So if you're on Instagram, guys, I haven't forgotten about you. Again, we're just trying this new thing. But thank you so much for joining. And if you haven't, go ahead and follow McClunky Cast also on Instagram. Rolando dropped the link here in the chat. And just a quick reminder, guys, before I forget, if you see a link being dropped here in the chat by one of our moderators, make sure that you check it out. If it's a YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe, watch some of the videos, drop some of the comments. If it's a TikTok or an Instagram, go follow. Again, check out some of their stuff. We always try to help each other around here. So make sure that you check out any link posted here. All right, so let's get back to you. So can I ask how long have you had your YouTube channel?
we started April in April. So it hasn't been a year yet. We
No.
started
So,
a week before. So we started the channel a week before May the 4th,
oh, nice.
and Flutter Reviews and I wanted to do a little podcast episode thing where we would predict the announcements for May the 4th. That was the
Ah,
whole
nice.
the whole thing we wanted to start with was here's our predictions
Right.
and let's see what happened. And then I mean it was a podcast originally,
Sure.
and then I said I wanted to try to do some reviews, and I really actually just fell in love with the process of making them. I really really liked it. And the first thing I started doing was micro galaxy squadrons.
Nice.
Those were
Yep.
easy. Those, it's not like, oh, I got to go buy $100 thing to review.
Agreed.
And then I was like, man, I can kind of make these pretty efficiently.
Yeah, you
And
can.
then it got out to be I was making 3 reviews a week
Nice.
consistently for about 6 months.
Yeah.
And that's what a majority of the stuff on the channel was.
Yeah, yeah.
And we still do the podcast as often as we can. And then I started branching off from micro galaxy squadrons to helmets
Yes.
recently, and then
Oh yeah.
lightsabers, some of the Disney droids,
Yes.
just other Star Wars collectibles. I've finally branched out. So
Absolutely. And one of the last ones that you posted is I was talking to you about this one backstage. It's one of the ones that I kind of wish I would have gotten into back then. So it's this smaller scale, right? Master replica helmet.
Mhm.
So I know that you posted the 501st, and I think you were telling me that you got one in the pipe right now.
Yes. Coming out Friday, we are going to be doing a review on the Commander Gree version right here.
Ooh,
So thing's super sleek.
that
Love
looks
it. It's got
good.
the visor. I think it's
Yeah, look at that.
fantastic.
That green looks
So
amazing.
the camera that I record with does much better justice than my webcam. So definitely check it out. It's a fantastic helmet. They mold the entire inside too.
No
It's hard
way.
to tell,
Yeah, yeah.
but kind
Yeah,
of
I
in
see
there
some
you can
details in
see.
there.
Yeah, the whole thing is molded. It's insane.
Wow. Very,
So
very cool.
yeah, got a lot in
So
the works, but
yeah, absolutely, man. Like we said, you again, you guys can tell this man is very prolific. But there's a lot of love in this channel, and which is something that caught my eye, almost from the beginning, to be honest. So I've said it before, and I will repeat it here. I've always found it very fun to do reviews, but my reviews suck when it comes to views or garnering any sort of attention. I still do them, just because hey, I'm having fun, right? So that's really why
that's
I'm
what
here.
matters.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, sometimes it was a little bit disheartening, because I couldn't get my process down right. And it's funny that you mentioned that you got it down to something, a process that was very efficient, because I think that's really the key when it comes to producing reviews. So my reviews were taking me hours and hours, and then I wasn't fully happy with some of the shots, so I went back and reshot some of that stuff. Anyway, and then I will post it thinking, hey, I think I got a good thing here, and I will literally get 30 views, and then it would just die off.
Yeah.
So my reviews are definitely not the forte here on the channel, but I still enjoy making them, and especially like content like yours has kind of gotten me back into the bug has gotten back into me of like, man, I kind of have some micro galaxy squadrons. Like you said, it's nothing too complicated. It doesn't have to be like a 40-minute video, right, on the
Yeah.
ship. It can be something quick, and you've been very efficient in doing those, and so I really enjoy when you post those. So I kind of want to get back into that, but this isn't about me. um so what I want to say is you've done a great job in
Thank
what
you.
is it, 8 months, 9 months, eight
Something
months?
like that. Yeah, it hasn't
Yeah,
been long.
it really hasn't. And so I've seen that you've been very consistent with posting. I've seen your following grow and your community. So very, very cool. And that, like I said, I wasn't joking at the beginning of the stream when I said I wanted to talk to you because I feel that you are like on the verge of blowing up. Okay, you got everything that's needed. I love your style. um I guess pretty much from the very first video, your stuff looked really good and it sounded really good, which is something that I think it's very overlooked a lot of times when we start YouTube. The sound, people don't really put too much stuck into the sound of your voice, or if you have music or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that's something that I learned the hard way, as I went through my first, well, I like to say my first few videos, but it took more than a few for me to kind of get it right, or at least at a decent point. So again, guys, I just cannot stress enough that you need to check out Maclunkey YouTube channel. He does really good looking videos. His shots, like he said, his camera is a lot better, and he's he's reviewing a lot of stuff. So definitely check him out. Check him out live. Also, when they do their podcast, and make sure that you check him out also on Instagram and on TikTok. Okay, so just remember that. Oh, look who we got here. We got Joey from the Padawan Collector. Welcome, welcome, man. Thank you so much for joining. Saying, hey, General Collecting Room, looking great. Hey, man, I appreciate that. Coming from you, man, that means the world. So, guys, if you don't know Joey, and I'm pretty sure everybody here does, one of the most amazing Star Wars vintage collectors out there,
It's
and Star
fantastic.
Wars vintage, content creators. His stuff is pure gold when it comes to information. Right, this man has become, uh, basically the library, the go-to reference point for anything and everything Star Wars vintage. So thank you for joining me, and I appreciate you. We got the Real Life Perspective Show saying, good evening, everyone. Appreciate you coming in, man. Uh, he says, small world. I started my channel in April too, April 28th, National Motu Day, FYI. Nice. Very nice. And if you don't know what Motu is, that's Masters of the Universe. So He-Man, just for us 80s kids. Uh, Padawan Collector says, I got hooked on Micro Galaxy. Dude, seriously.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it is good stuff. The details on them are really good. Uh, I'm kind of in love with the little minifigs, if I'm being honest.
I know
I
they
I just there's just something about them. I really like them.
and they've gotten really good recently too, because they started
Yes.
off okay, and
Yeah.
then like I got the Jango Fett version of the ship, not the Boba Fett one, and
Uh-huh. Yeah.
the Jango Fett looks so clean. The
Nice.
chrome paint, his jetpack's
Yes.
detachable.
Yeah,
So good.
yeah. I saw that, which I have mine. I need to crack mine open too. Um, but yes, the minifig. The way I see it is the minifig. Yes, there you go. The minifigs had the detail from the beginning, right? It was some of the paint that
Mhm.
wasn't excellent, wasn't even great. It was okay, right? And I always give him a pass because I'm like, all right, it's a tiny figure, it's hard. The paint process, I'm sure, they're still figuring it out. But like you said, they've actually come a long way in what, like about a year.
Yeah.
Um, and dude, I'm like in love with those things. Uh, my wish list in general, and I think you're on the same boat. I want more capital ships. I want, I want the big ships, right? I don't get me wrong. I love, the fighters. I love
That's gonna be big.
the gunships. Yeah, and I love that freaking AT-AT. Um,
Yeah.
but I kind of need a star destroyer. I kind of need a Venator.
You know how
Uh,
big they're all to scale, man. You know how big
dude,
that would be?
dude, I'm all for it. I mean, if they want to go nuts and just do that, I
I
would
barely
buy it.
got room for these ones. I
No,
can't.
I hear you on that one. I don't have room for it, but I mean, I got a restroom.
Well,
That might
yeah.
work.
You put it upright, right?
Right? Exactly. But yeah, so I want to see more capital ships, and that's just in general. I mean, I love capital ships in general in any collection. So anybody does that, then I'll probably buy it. Let's see. Juan saying awesome. Hey, Dave's Dimension, what's going on, man? Thank you for coming into the stream. Um, Legacy saying, yeah, Maclunkey posts a lot. Yeah, he does, man. He's very, very prolific, very constant. So he's doing really good. Rolando saying hi to Dave and Legacy. Dave saying, hey, Ro. Rolando saying hi to the Padawan collector. Elijah saying hi to Dave. Dave saying hi to Flex. Hope he's well. Absolutely. Juan saying, I want that Django. Is it Micro Galaxy? It is. It is the what was that? Target exclusive, I think, at the time.
Yes. Yep.
Target exclusive, Slave One. I'm gonna say it. Disney's not gonna give me anything. It's all right. So it's the Django Fett version of the Slave One. The regular Slave One for Boba Fett was a wide release, I believe. That one was
Yep.
everywhere.
Actually,
Uh,
was that Walmart?
was it? It- Uh, dang it, I don't remember.
I don't
It might have been.
remember.
You might be right. But I remember the Django Fett being Target exclusive for sure. Um, we also got Rolando saying hi to everybody that came in later into the stream. Thank you for that, Rolando. And Flex, Elijah saying just great, my friend. Doing good, doing good. Um, so we've seen, or I've seen at least that you also took quite a bit of a jump into the helmets, right? So it is because of you that I've actually started paying attention to those. I don't know what we would call them. Lesser known maybe brands when it comes to helmets, right?
Yeah.
Um, they're not, how can I say? So they're not Black Series, right? They're not straight from Hasbro. They're not
Mhm.
straight from
Straight
the
from the
Nuovo
mouse.
or anything like that. Yeah, so it's kind of like those that when you not Google, when you go into Amazon and you put in something like Captain Rex helmet, right, or Clone Trooper helmet, you get a few hits that are not brands that we know, right, right off the bat. But Maclunkey here decided to take a gamble on those, and
Yeah.
I gotta say, it kind of paid off, dude. So you want to tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, so, I thought, I'd seen this company multiple times on Amazon, and, um, they went by, Xcoser, and then they have all these sub-businesses that sell their
Yeah,
helmets,
not
and
not
but it's
shady
all
at all.
yeah, but it's all when you get it from all these different places, it still has the X-Coaster brand on it, so it's all of them.
Okay.
And some other Star Wars Collected,
Mm-hmm.
I think is
Yep.
he just did a review on some,
Ah, nice.
and it's a gamble because I was terrified because it's like, oh my gosh, they have this ARC Trooper helmet,
Yes.
and I was like, we're gonna do this because the ARC Trooper helmet at the time when I looked was $60, and I was really scared it was gonna be a rubber mask. That was the whole thing.
I
Is
hear
I'm
you.
like, it's gonna be a crappy rubber mask. I know it is. I bought it. I bought two of them actually. Instead of waiting for the one to see if it was real, I bought two of them.
There you
I
go.
bought the Battlefront 2 blue ARC Trooper and Commander
Yes.
Fox Clone Wars style.
Nice.
And it was really fun because the YouTube video like thumbnail was a picture of like the thing they used on Amazon and then like a trash can, like what's it gonna be, you know? And it turned out it got a
Right.
lot of views and stuff. So I appreciate
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
for watching that. I was scared to death when I opened that, and every helmet I have got from them so far is awesome.
Nice.
I, that $60 helmet is worth it. It's got paint, you know, it has issues. It's a resin
Sure.
cast. For $60 though, half the price of a Black Series helmet. That's
Yes.
not, yeah, that one right there. It's got like the cruddy stormtrooper helmet for the
Yeah.
thumbnail.
No,
Um,
but
I was terrified of this thing. Um, yeah, so that's the posting for the Fox helmet,
right.
and it's just like, man, that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I,
it does.
but you're terrified because it's not um official. You don't
Yeah.
know. And look, I mean, you could see there, like the smile on my face is just like,
Yeah.
wow, I am beyond happy with that purchase.
Yeah,
And then
man. So
I bought Wrecker and Vaughn after that, and
yeah.
um,
Good looking, man.
I
Seriously.
know, and I've got Black Series. Don't get me wrong, I
Sure.
have every Black Series helmet release except the Kylo Ren helmet, the first one they made. It's the only
Yeah.
one I'm missing, so I still buy all of those. But they're really good. My only issue with that company still is, oh, that's when I used to show my face. And and you can throughout the channel you'll see in the short time you kind of change how you want things to go, and it's
No, I hear
fun.
you. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, the company X Coaster, man, the only sketchy thing that kills me still
Mhm.
is the Amazon only has so many. They've got about
Mm.
20 helmets. I'm actually going to buy the Bly helmet. It's got the visor that goes up and down.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we'll see about that one. I've heard the visor's pretty bad, but I'll check
Mm.
it out.
Nice.
They
But yeah,
have oh,
so still, right? For a long time, Hasbro actually was the cheapy one, right?
yeah,
Black Series was the cheapest helmet you could basically get, right? Uh, the other, I guess, the other companies, making them. Don't get me wrong, they're amazing companies, great detail, great materials, all that. But let's be honest, the price, it's sometimes a little bit prohibitive for a lot of us, right? I mean, if you can buy a $700, helmet, by all means, right? And I'm sure it's gonna look insane. But again, for most of us, that's a little bit out of reach, right? Or it takes a while, for us to put together that kind of
mhm,
cash and get one helmet, right? um so I was pleasantly surprised, when you started reviewing this, and like you said, right, that the majority of them have been really good. So, and especially for the price, again, I mean, $60 for a well-made helmet, that's like unheard of, right? And I know a lot of people might say, yes, there's 3D printing and you can, paint it yourself or stuff like that. And it might end up being, also, I don't know about $60 to be honest with you, but let's say sub $100, right? Um, but still, when you have a turnkey product like this one, they just basically just order, and it ends up being, good quality.
yeah,
Again, for like, sub $100 like price range, that's pretty good. And the other point that I wanted to make is these guys are making helmets that Hasbro hasn't made, right? and,
exactly.
and let's be like brutally honest, a lot of them Hasbro will not make, like flat out. Okay, I'm sorry, like to burst anybody's bubble, but um, they've gotten better with um, I guess which characters they give, they produce the helmets of,
Hmm.
but they're still very much in their lanes, right? You got clone troopers, you got Mandalorians, of course, and pilots, right? That's sort of the only ones. You got Darth Vader, because I mean you're not gonna not do Darth Vader, right?
Yeah.
But and Kylo Ren, I'm actually surprised. I was kind of hoping that they would re-release the Kylo Ren because I don't have
Yeah.
that one either. Um, and but we've talked about this, but the status of the re-release, campaign that they had is a little bit weird right now. It's kind
Yeah.
of gone, yet nobody's saying that it's gone. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even know if we're actually gonna get the ones that we did pre-order. It's just kind of a mess right now when it comes to Hasbro. Um, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say just real quick, on that company, because like you were
Mhm.
saying, they're making stuff that Hasbro's not.
Yeah,
The Vaughn helmet, Captain Vaughn,
yeah,
that's insane. The paint job with that looks straight out of the Clone Wars.
nice.
On their website, to put it into perspective, they sell a 2003 Tartakovsky Fordo helmet,
Oh,
and that thing looks insane, and it's
dang
like
it, man.
70, and they sell this one blew my mind. I hope it doesn't get them, whatever, if they're allowed to do it or not. But
I'm
they
sure.
have a captain or commander, whatever it is, Tuck from Tuck
Yeah.
that they have one with a feather and
No
everything.
way.
It's nuts.
Let
So
me
they're
see. It's
making ones
X Coaster, right?
ex-coaster.
Do they have a xcoaster.com?
They do.
Oh, close your eyes if this isn't it.
It's kind of a weird website when you look at it. Um, but the only thing with that website is they only accept Western Union.
Really?
So that's why you have to buy from Amazon.
Gotcha.
But then they never put like the Fordo helmet or the Tuck helmet on
Right.
Amazon. And I've
Dang.
begged them, I've messaged them like, guys, I love your
Please,
stuff.
yeah.
Please put it on Amazon.
So check it out. Let me see. I think I'm on the right one.
Oh, that's
Is this it?
that looks different from what I was used to.
Uh-oh.
But I don't know. Maybe they updated their websites. I mean, that's all their helmets. I thought
I mean,
about
this
getting that
looks this looks pretty
Thorn.
slick. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
true.
this is actually a lot nicer. I haven't been on it in about a month. But yeah, if you just go to the search bar and type in like
Ooh, are
Fordo
they doing armors
or
now?
they do full sets. They're okay at
Dang.
parts.
Okay. I mean, for the price, that's not bad. You can still
A lot
customize
better.
some of it and,
Mhm.
get yourself a good armor.
Yeah. They got
Oh, here we go. Okay.
yeah. There's that Fordo helmet.
Yeah.
Second row there.
Dang.
It looks better from the side and everything, but like
Yeah.
I mean they're pumping these out faster than Hasbro. They've got the Super
Oh,
Commandos Mandalorian
Commando.
Stormtrooper for the
Yeah.
first there
I love
already
that
and
design. Oh, phase 1,
yeah.
Cody. That's my
Mhm.
jam right
Oh,
there.
there's that Tuck helmet, man. I
Yes.
want that so bad.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
man, they
see,
got
and
quite the variety.
I don't know why, but they're way more expensive on their website, and they're all like almost sub 100 on Amazon.
Yeah, right? I mean, is this is US dollars, right? Maybe
Yeah,
did
it
I
is. But like
Oh,
that
it looks like it
same
is.
Bly and Jesse, they're all like
Mhm.
$80 on Amazon.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the Vaughn that you bought, right?
yeah,
Um, that was, less than 100, right?
I
I
think
think.
that was 89.
There you go. Yeah.
They're always running like $20, $30 off coupons on them.
Sweet. Yeah, I gotta check some of these out, man, because they definitely doing, some of my favorite characters, when it
Yeah,
comes to helmets.
and some of
So there you go,
them
guys.
yeah.
Make sure that you check it out. First of all, check out Maclunkey's review on them because, like I said, I've never would have taken a second look at this helmet if it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for Maclunkey. Um, Again, taking one for the team and
Yeah, it was
gambling
scary.
on it.
Yeah,
But it paid off. So
it
I'm
did.
definitely gonna check out what Amazon has. I got a few points saved up. Maybe I take
Yeah.
myself one of those. So let me see back here into the chat. LeBron saying Little Fed said hi. Cass, formerly known MCAS, saying, "Hey everyone, what's going on, man?" Flexing had a cast, casting had a flex. Yes, so I don't know why when I stream into Instagram, it does this thing where it just hits the brightness for some reason. I think it's a plugin on my browser, so that's when you see the the brightness kick up on the camera. Pop the Bounty Collector saying, "Yo, what's going on, brother? Thank you so much for joining, man. Appreciate you." Rolando saying had a cast, and Pop the Bounty Collector and Cass saying head back to Rolando. So, yeah. definitely the helmets have been a big part. I know that you have also jumped into lightsabers, right?
Yes.
Um, so, can I ask what is your favorite type of review to do right now?
That's a tough one.
Well, you've
Um,
branched out. That's why I'm asking, right? You're
yeah.
doing a few different things now, different products, right? And I see you, I guess, consistently doing all of them, right? Like you rotate every so often, right? Back
Mhm.
into helmet, back into lightsaber, micro galaxy squadron, etc. So I'm just kind of curious, like, have you found one that you're like, you know what? I have a lot more fun doing this type than the others.
Um, so I really like lightsabers because I just love the way they look. It's very
Agreed.
sleek, the design. Um, but it really is kind of just record it, turn it on, do that. So I
Sure.
like the way they look, and I like getting like the glam shots of the lightsabers a
Yes.
lot. But I do like micro galaxy squadrons. It's
They're pretty
just
fun.
it's just all of the articulation, the
Yeah.
secret compartments you can find on them, all
Yeah.
that stuff. Um, there's a video I'm actually working on,
Okay.
that'll probably come out in February, where it is, a new style of video where I'm doing a retrospective kind of video,
Cool.
on Shadows of the Empire,
Beautiful.
because that's how I got into it and stuff.
Yes.
It's gonna
I
involve
love it.
the game. Each part, just like that, is going to be I'm gonna do a video on the video game, one on the book, and then the comic
Smart.
books. So, like, I've got
Yes,
some of the figures that came
yes,
with the comic
that's
book.
one of my favorite ones right there.
Yep, and I have the
Uh,
Boba Fett and
and the
IG-88
Boba
as
Fett,
well.
I was gonna
Yep.
say. Yeah, and I gotta be honest with you, that packaging, with the purple,
Oh, I love it.
I
I've
chef's
got them
kiss.
all.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, it's just I love the way that looks,
Mhm.
and technically, it's just, the Power of the Force 2 packaging, right? Just
Just
repainted
purple.
purple, but it looks
It's
amazing.
it's
That's
perfect.
still some of my favorite, packaging, ever, right?
Yeah.
Especially from the '90s. Um,
But that
so
video,
yeah,
yeah, I'm working on that one. I'm
dude,
liking
that's
that kind of
awesome.
video. I'm liking that kinda style.
Absolutely. And
So
again, that is I guess the one that holds a special place in your heart, right? That
yeah,
is your entry point into Star Wars. So I'm sure, a lot of love is gonna go into those videos. I can't wait to watch them.
yeah.
So again, guys, I can't stress this enough. Go subscribe to Maclunkey Cast, right? He's got already stuff in the works. I don't know what I'm gonna post tomorrow. This dude's already, thinking about like month and a half in advance. So that's why his channel is prettier than mine. So okay, so I've been talking. Who was I talking to? Maybe JB about there's actually not a whole lot of us that are I guess proudly saying that we collect Micro Galaxy Squadron, which I find a little bit weird because y- this is there you go. Oh, nice. See that Black Series tie
Yeah.
fighter out there.
Yeah.
That's a piece right there.
Yes.
Um, but I don't know. They're inexpensive, right? When we compare it to a lot of stuff out there, they have good detail. I think I'll be honest. Yes, so that right there is my top one. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
that right there, I have one.
I have them
Okay,
all. I have
so
every edition.
every edition, nice. So the LLAT is one of my favorite chips, just hands down. And the Tiger Shark, you cannot mess with that. All right.
It's
I'm
perfection.
hoping, first of all, I'm hoping for an ARC 170, right? Which I'm
Please.
sure they will, but I just it's kind of weird that we haven't seen one by now. It's all I'll say. Exactly. And if they do the Tiger Shark ARC 170, sorry,
Don't get my
um,
hopes up.
I'm just saying it's possible. It's possible. Okay. That is actually one of the ships 375 scale that I really want to get. I don't have it. I don't have
Oh.
the R170 Tiger Shark. I have the LLAT and I have the battle pack. I don't know if you ever saw that
Mhm.
with the troopers, right?
Yep.
So I have those two up there, and I actually have that one, the Micro Galaxy Squadron. So I'm gonna open it and I'm gonna display it with it's like a little, I guess Tiger Shark LLAT,
Yeah.
corner. So I'm gonna put that
Nice.
one out there. When I saw that, that's actually the only Micro Galaxy Squadrons that I pre-ordered.
Oh, yeah.
Everything else, I kind of wait, game time decision if I see it live or if I see a review, and then I'll order it, right? But
Mhm.
that one, the Tiger Shark, I was like, no, I don't care. I will pre-order this thing like right now. That's literally the only one that I have pre-ordered.
Yeah,
Um,
they're great.
they are. They're really
They
good.
are.
Micro Machines always had like a special place, in my heart. There's some of those that collectibles, I guess, that they're kind of undervalued, underrated in my book. Or from what I've seen, the prices are really not that high. They don't sell well, at toy shows or
Mhm.
conventions. But I kind of love them, like I don't know, like I really like them. I have more than a few, and so this line of Market Galaxy Squadron sort of takes like they're like a spiritual successor, right? In my mind, to some of the
Oh, for sure.
old Mission Fleet, right? Um, and I know some people are gonna say, well, Mission Fleet was better. Eh, you know, plus and minuses on both sides. I think there's some stuff that I love that Mission Fleet did, like when they did. I don't know if you remember or if you saw them, those concept like two packs where it would be, for example, the AT-AT as it was drawn, by Macquarie or whoever the designer was, and then the actual movie used, version, right? So the
That's
AT-AT
cool.
that we know. So it was like a tall two pack. The concept one was slightly smaller, and then you had the, let's say, like I said, the regular AT-AT. So I always
Mhm.
like that concept, um, of giving us like a little bit like the precursor, right, or like the predecessor of the design that we know and love. So I always thought that was one of the most original ideas that they had. But
That'd be pretty cool.
uh, yeah, they were pretty cool. I wish I had more of those. I only ended up with a couple. But like I said, with with space shrinking around me every time, it's just
Yeah.
it gets kind of tricky, man. Um, so we got AC in the house saying, "Hello, General. What's up, man? Thank you so much." Mr. Hollywood saying, "It's the space. It's why I'm down to the Hot Wheels." I hear you, man. But I think I told you guys that last week I found new Hot Wheels for the first time in like months. I found the Ghost and I found Anakin's Starfighter, right, the yellow one, and I wasn't impressed. I didn't quite like them. Okay. And you guys know I've been all in on that line. Like I don't think I've missed one of them actually for the past, what is it, 3 waves, 4 waves? I don't even remember.
Is this a Starship Selects?
It is, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It is Starship Selects. But there was something about the Ghost that I just flat out didn't like. I didn't like the paint job. And even the detail, even the because usually the molds are okay, right? Like the detail is there, and you're like, a little bit more paint here and there would have made it better, but the detail is there. This one, I kind of felt like it wasn't. I don't know exactly what it was. It turned me off to them. I was like, you
Hmm.
know what? I think I'm gonna skip this ones until I find another example, right? Until I find them again and see if maybe the one, because there was only one, right? There was only one of each. So I want to hopefully believe that the one that I saw wasn't up to standards, maybe. So hopefully I see it again live, and I get to make a game time decision whether to pick that one up or not. Have you checked those out? Have you
Yeah, I've got them
seen them
all.
or picked them up? There you go.
I have them all up to they're all right here.
Yeah,
Maul, the Sith infiltrator or
let's say the infiltrator.
the
Yeah,
yeah, infiltrator. I haven't seen the Ghost yet
the
or
ghost
Anakin
or
Starfighter.
Anakin's. Yeah,
Have you seen like all the ones there's 3 waves all coming out right now? Like Sandcrawler was announced, all this stuff.
they were. No, I haven't. That's
So
why I
it blows.
after
Yeah.
what was that? What was the wave with the N1? Um,
That was 17
yeah,
with the TIE Interceptor.
yes,
Yeah, I
yeah,
love the TIE Interceptor.
yeah. Me
I love
too.
that, and they're my favorite thing about these is how heavy they are. I
Yes.
actually really, really like that because 'cause they're all die cast, but
But see, that's actually a point that I was gonna make because our buddy Phil, Yukon Phil, he cracked open the interceptor and it's not all metal. The wings are plastic and they fold. Or
really?
yeah, or sorry, not fold, they bend, right? They so if you put just a little bit of pressure, they're kind of bendy. So
So I I have the
there you go.
gunship. I had
Yeah,
to open an extra one of
well, of
these.
course.
So I do know the guns right
Yeah,
here. These are flimsy.
yeah,
These aren't, and the tail gun is.
yeah.
But everything else, that's
That's
surprising
what I
that
was gonna
such a
say.
large
Yeah.
piece on the
So
TIE
it
fighter
is
is.
exactly right, and it's kind of an aesthetic. If your wings are not aligned, it's gonna look kind of like
Yeah.
crooked, or it's not gonna look very nice. So that was a red flag for me
Yeah.
when he did that. And so I have an open mind. I'm not gonna lie, mine is still in packaging. And so I was like, I don't know, maybe I need to be a little bit more selective when it comes to these ones. But I was in love with the previous line of starships for Hot Wheels. The smaller scale.
I
Uh,
had all those and had to
yeah,
move to this.
yeah, but I mean, those were what, like $5 maybe.
4.99, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, somewhere around there. And there were some great ships. I'm still hunting the Resistance wave. I only have one. Um, the racers.
Yeah.
The
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. So I have which one do I have? I'm missing the Fireball. I know that,
Uh-huh.
and I have the oh god, now I'm blanking out. But I have the green one. I think that's the only one that I have from those racers, which became very hard to find. They became kind of rare, right?
Of course.
Um, and I've talked about it here in the show, but I had the Tie Bomber in my hand, that Hot Wheels one, the like I said, the previous iteration, and I didn't pick it up because I thought that I already had it. And then I was like, oh no, wait, I don't. And so I went back and it was gone. And I was like, all right, well, I'll pick it up next time. Lo and behold, that's one of the grails of that line. Like it's kind of hard to get. Like it's
It
like a
is?
hundred, yeah, it's like $150 last time I saw it. It fluctuates in price,
Okay.
but I think the cheapest I've seen it is like $80. And then
Wow.
it comes and goes, but it doesn't come up that often. Even like if you just want to buy it, like there's not that many out there. So kick myself, for that one constantly because they would never re-released it or anything. It was that one release and it was
I
gone.
had no idea.
Yeah, that's so
Look, I've got that one. I didn't know that.
there you go.
I
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I think
So
the only
there's
yeah,
a few grill pieces in there.
they made a lot.
They made a lot, but there's what, two or three that are pretty rare. So like the ARC 170, that's probably the grail of
Yeah.
that.
I don't have that one.
Yeah, same here. And the mythical, what is it, orange card Star Destroyer
Yep. I
that
do know about that one.
that people still debate if it even
Mhm.
exists or not.
Yeah.
Um, which I think is kind of funny because
Yeah.
you would think that we should know, right, if it's out there or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of funny when it comes to that. Juan saying, "Hey guys, I've got to go see you. Appreciate you being here, man. Thank you so much."
See ya.
Mr. Hollywood saying, "Sup, Dave and Legacy." He's driving, but lurking. Yes, I don't know what that is, but just make sure you have napkins around. Um, Rolando say hi to AZ, and Dave Dimension say hi to Archer. So before we go, I wanted to get your opinion on some stuff that's been going on with Star Wars projects. Okay, it's been an interesting couple of days.
Mhm.
So let's talk about some of the news that sort of popped up yesterday, actually. So, if you guys don't follow Bespin Bulletin, I highly recommend the website. Um, Aside again from what we're gonna talk about, they are actually pretty accurate on their reporting. Now, this is basically a rumor website. Okay, so take everything with a grain of salt. Don't come at me like some people did on Instagram when I posted this. Uh, and yeah, guys, it's all for fun, first of all. And I never said, Lucasfilm 100% confirmed, Kathleen Kennedy gave an interview saying this is trash. No. All right. So please don't come at me, in the comments, or don't come at me again. So it was first reported, right, that the previously announced movie where Ray is going to be back, right, with Daisy Ridley, and it's supposed to be 15 years into the future, right, from the last movie we saw, Rise of Skywalker. And it's supposed to be dealing with her and the new generation of Jedi, right? That's more or less what we know. So excuse me. So it was reported that it was kind of in trouble, right, that the screenwriter was not not too happy with the way, or the notes that they were given to him, or the direction that it was going, so that it might have been exiting. Excuse me. Ugh, Disney pumping something into my AC here, so to keep me from speaking.
It's
But we're gonna power through, okay?
all we can do.
Exactly. Um, so yeah, so this was reported, in the morning, and then we had this one that same day saying, "Hey, never mind. Um, it's been sort of backtracked, and no, it's not delayed, and it seems like Stephen Knight is still on board." So okay, it happens. But then we got this one today saying, "Oh, by the way, the Ray Skywalker movie is actually releasing in a couple of years. December 2026. Reliable sources now. So again, guys, I cannot stress this enough. Take all of this with a grain of salt. All right, nobody here is saying that this is the definite truth. Again, this is basically a rumor website, a good one, because, like I said, most of the rumors that they post do end up being true or fairly accurate. So, otherwise, I wouldn't tell you about it. Um, but again, this is all this is all in fun, and this is all to be taken as a rumor. So, uh, I think that, well, first of all, things are kind of slow with Star Wars right now. All right, let's just start there. So when anything Star Wars pops up, we tend to go at it, very fast, right? Because why? Because we're kind of starving. We're kind of hungry for information.
We need it.
Exactly. Remember that whole thing with the strike, and nobody was saying anything. That ended, and still nobody's saying anything, right? We still haven't gotten any sort of release dates, anything like that. We got an announcement that a Mando movie's happening, right? Now we know that Mando movie apparently is going to cap off season 4, right, of Mando. So it's gonna be like the season finale type of thing, just into a movie. Which, by the way, I don't know about you, but I kind of felt that timing was to sort of not quiet down, but it was in response to some of the backlash that they got from the director of this movie, right? Where she was saying, all that stuff about basically her agenda, and that she wanted to make men uncomfortable and all that stuff, right? So I kind of felt that was kind of bubbling up, and they're like, "Hey, no, chill. Like we're gonna give you Mando here. You like Mando, right? And Grogu, here you go. You're gonna get a movie." Um,
Yeah,
so I just thought that the timing was a little bit too perfect, when it comes to that.
yeah.
Um, but let me hear your thoughts. What do you think is kind of going on with this Ray movie, man?
I wish I knew.
Right?
um, I'm not gonna lie. I know a lot of people tend to lean on the I don't like the sequels.
Sure. Yeah.
And I am a very firm believer that I like Daisy Ridley as an actor. And I think she did exactly what she was told to do in those
Yeah.
films. And I have nothing against her. I would really like to see her play Rey again. I would also hope in this film we see Finn
Yeah.
doing Jedi stuff. I don't know how familiar you are with the Lego specials.
Yes. Yes. I saw
So
that.
I watched that the
Yeah.
the summer vacation
Yes.
whatever,
Yeah.
and Finn has a lightsaber and
Exactly.
he's
He's
training, and I'm like,
training. Exactly.
where did this come from?
Exactly.
What is this working off of? I had
Which
no idea.
which is kind of funny, right? Because I was like, damn it, Lego, like stop fixing Disney's problems. Like
Literally.
you did it in like 30 seconds. Dude, I was totally fine
Yeah,
with it. I was like, dude, I kind of like this. Like
I do too. I
I'm all
thought
for it. Let's go.
I want
You
Finn to
know?
be a Jedi. That's
Yeah.
what I want this
Uh,
film to be, is her training this. I've heard the rumors of, like, it's gonna be her kids and stuff
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not,
Right. Yeah.
but the whole thing with, "We're making the Rey movie. Now we're not. Now we are. Here's a date. It's pretty far in the future." I don't know. I it's with movies, man, we got the Rebel, oh, what was the X-wing pilot movie.
Yeah,
Um,
Rogue Squadron,
Rogue Squadron, dude. I
dude.
wanted I wanted that movie so
Yeah,
bad,
same
and I
here,
had
dude. I was
faith.
so excited for that one.
I had some faith in
Mm,
that director.
same,
It was like, and we're not gonna get it.
and
I
yeah,
really wanted that. So Disney has kind of lost my faith in a
same here.
sense of when it comes to films, if they feel like it can make you, how do I put this? So the current rumor with Mando movie, right? It's season 4 and then the finale is the movie,
Right.
okay? If it was just a movie, they would only need to sell you 1 month of Disney Plus.
Yeah, of course.
But if it's 6 episodes once a
Yeah.
week, you have to buy 2 months and then you can watch the movie. And I think
Right.
that's why Obi-Wan became a show. That's my
Sure.
firm
Yeah.
belief in it's let's drag it out.
Yeah.
Let's get 2 months out of you instead of 1. And I feel like this Ray movie, it wouldn't surprise me if in 6, 7 months or on May the 4th we get an announcement. It's gonna be a
Right.
Ray show,
Yep.
you know? I don't know.
No,
It's
I hear you. Like I said, every time anybody says anything about a Star Wars film now, after what is it, 3 years of them just dragging us on to nothing,
yeah.
and projects falling off the map, and some of them never to be spoken again, and the directors don't even know that they're involved sometimes. So I take any movie announcement with a, I was gonna say a grain of salt, but at this point it's like a
A
bucket of salt
block of
because
salt, yeah.
yeah, exactly. Just because uh the track record is that any movie that they've announced, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Or it's been delayed, or just nobody talks about it, right? Do you
Yeah.
remember the Lando movie? What happened with that?
No, because nobody
Right?
talks about it. This
Exactly. And everybody was kind of excited for that. I
Yeah,
was into that. I was like, I'm down for more Lando.
I'm cool with that.
And and remember we saw some of the rumors. What was it, last year, 2 years ago? I don't even remember anymore. Um, about who's gonna write it, who's gonna direct it, all of that stuff, and then poof,
It's gone.
silence, right? Um, Same thing. This new batch of announcements from last year, Dawn of the Jedi, the Dave Filoni movie, the Rey Skywalker movie, and then it turns out that the Dave Filoni movie, from what last I heard at least, and this could have changed already, but the Dave Filoni movie, one is not the Mando movie, and two, it's still happening. So
That's
we
what my understanding is as
right.
well.
So so Dave is not doing Mando season 4 finale, whatever you want to call it. That's he'll be involved for sure, but he's not directing it. Right. It seems to be John Favreau to be directing.
Mhm.
And like I said, what I heard is that Dave Filoni is still gonna get his own movie.
Mhm.
My question is, okay, when? When is all of this, meant to happen? Uh, they haven't even been able to put like a stick in the mud and say, hey, this is, the dude. Honestly, they haven't even given us the release date for Skeleton Crew and Acolyte, right?
Bad Batch
Wh-
season 3, we don't
Bad
have a
Batch
date
season 3,
for. And
yeah,
it's like,
which is supposed to be pretty much done, right? That's my
yeah,
understanding.
it's supposed to
I
be,
mean,
I
it,
think originally spring or summer this year.
yep, right, right, right. Same thing with, I mean, what was it? Skeleton Crew was supposed to be last year, I think, originally.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, guys, it just doesn't look great. All right. Now, specifically about these rumors that we just talked about, um I think there's something going on. Okay. It might not be with the screenwriter, right? But I'm sorry, I just, again, going from past experience or recent experience, I don't think everything is fine and dandy with this project. All right. Will it still happen? More than likely, yes. If I have to guess, I'm gonna say yes. There will be a Rey Skywalker something. Now, like you said, is it a movie? Is it a TV show? I don't know, right? But I think from what we have seen before, Disney is gonna keep pushing, pushing through with these characters. So if they already got Daisy really back and she's involved, I'm sure they don't want to lose her, right? Because it kind of all hinges on her at this point. So again, I'm almost, if I'm betting, I'm betting yes, something Ray Skywalker will happen, right? When? Who's gonna direct it? Who's gonna write it? Is it going to be a movie, a trilogy, a TV show? I have no idea, right?
Nobody knows.
Exactly, right? Now, so again, particularly with this rumor, okay, let's say that it's false, that the screenwriter is okay, my understanding that he's kind of busy working with another movie
Mhm.
from that TV show or Netflix show, uh, what is it, Peaky Blinders. I haven't seen it, but I heard good things about
Oh,
it,
yeah. I
and I
forgot it's
think,
the same, yeah.
yeah, I want to say he's involved in the movie
Mhm.
that they're working on. So it could very well be that the dude's like, "Hey guys, I'll return in my draft, right? Like my my contract is fulfilled for the draft. You guys don't like it? Okay, we'll rework it. But I'm working on this thing for the next year or so. So y'all gonna have to wait, if you still want me, right? Because I'm sure the Peaky Blinders, movie is like going. So I don't know. There could be a lot, of course, happening here in the background, but yeah, I let me put it to you this way. I'm going to be super surprised if we're getting a Ray Skywalker movie by December of 2026.
Yeah. I
um
don't see that.
right, and if that's what they want to do and they push everything for that, then I can tell you right now it's probably not going to be a great product, because to go from first draft of a screenplay, right, to fully released movie in less than 2 years, that's kind of nuts. That's actually a very short time.
I
Okay.
just yeah. I wish Disney would just say, "Boom, it's in the works."
Yes.
Do not we're hungry, we're Star Wars fans and we're hungry,
Yeah.
but the moment you slap a time frame on that,
Yeah.
an expectation is set, and it
Absolutely.
don't say summer of next year.
Yeah.
That's vague, but it's
Yeah.
not that
But
vague
it's
because
exactly.
when it gets pushed back another 2 years, you start to forget about it.
Yep.
Or you're thinking it's not gonna come out, and then when it does come out, you're like, "I don't know if I wanna see that." It's
Seriously. Yeah.
just say, "It's in the works," and it's like, "Oh, cool. This is something I have to look forward to in the future sometime," but I'm not like, "Oh, man, 6 months from now," and then they
Yeah.
delay it, and then
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding, man. And we got some stuff again, supposedly. I'm gonna say supposedly with everything related Star Wars,
everything.
honestly, for the next few months. So, like you said, we got Bad Batch season 3, which is ready to go. I mean, they really just gotta drop it, honestly. Um, although my understanding is pretty much the same when it comes to Skeleton Crew and Acolyte. I mean, I think those were pretty much done. So those are three big shows that they're just kind of sitting on.
Yeah,
We have Tales of the Jedi season 2, which was announced for this year, which that honestly that's probably the one that everybody is like, we need this, okay, we
yes.
need a win. So
Please.
that should be it. And then, as we all know, or another bit of news that dropped yesterday is that Diego Luna, Andor, right, said he was going back to London. What was it, today, tomorrow, like very soon,
Mhm.
and that he only has 7 more days left of filming for Andor season 2. We know that Andor season 2 was pushed, and again, okay, I mean, but at least they told us, right? Hey, it's not
Yeah,
gonna come out 2024, 2025. It'll come out, and it's gonna be great. And I believe it. I'm
I do for
actually,
that.
hopeful for that. Yeah, um, because they did a good job. Yes, it wasn't for everybody. I'll acknowledge that. Season 1, but I think season 2 has a lot of potential. There's a lot of stuff going on in that time period. So yeah, so that one's very close to being wrapped up. In terms of the filming, right? Of course, special VFX, all of that stuff still has to be worked on. So, but what I'm saying is that one I believe we will get next year, right? Early next year at that, probably, um, because I think they have sufficient time to wrap it up, this year.
Yeah,
But anything else, like I said, it's just kind of like, hey man, where's my stuff? Like,
yeah.
it's almost like you can see it through the window, sitting on the shelf, and you're like, why can't I just buy it?
Bad
Why
Batch is
can't,
killing me.
dude, seriously. Yeah. And we know that this is the last season, right?
That's why it's killing me
So
so much, because
yeah,
I wanna know. They left us on such a big cliffhanger,
exactly.
you know? I wanna know what's going on with Cody.
Yeah,
I gotta
same here.
know. It's got me that show just pulled me in season 2 all the way.
Same here. I mean, Cody, I was like, oh my lord, this is some of the best Cody I have seen, right?
Yeah.
And that is saying a lot. And then he was gone, like
J
completely
just
gone.
AWOL,
Yep.
you know? Or you went MIA or
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
then I kept hoping, 2, 3 episodes go by. I'm like, all right, can we talk about Cody? At
Yeah.
least mention him. At least cameo. Nope,
He's
you get
gotta be in
nothing, sir.
season 3.
Yeah, yeah, he has to be. I mean, it's only fair to be honest. Let me jump back here for this last few comments here. Home Dude giving his opinion on some of the sequel trilogy, I'm assuming. He says Force Awakens was acceptable at best. AC saying today's Darth Vader's 93rd birthday. Yeah, can you believe that? James Earl
Man,
Jones. Kind of crazy.
legend.
Yeah, absolute legend. Home Dude saying the woke Chennai actor will stuff that new movie with DEI. Yeah, probably. The new movie will be made, but budget was cut substantially. Kathleen and Shinoy are upset. Facts are they're moving away from Skywalkers and work towards a new story. And again, let me reiterate this. I don't particularly mind moving away from the Skywalkers. I actually think, it could be a good thing, right? If, and this is a if it's done right, right? If the
Mhm.
story makes sense and if you go back um to the essence, right, that made us all fans. So I don't mind that you want to tell stories that are not Skywalker centric. Look at Rogue One, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, yes, you can make the debate that Anakin was there, right, in form of Darth Vader, and that was the best part of the movie. But
Yeah.
overall, right, I mean, they were just normal people characters, right? um Again, check out Andor, right? Again, it was divisive in the fandom. It's not for everybody, but they managed to pull off a successful Star Wars show without dropping Luke, without dropping Ahsoka. No Jedi, basically no Jedi or Sith for that
No
matter.
lightsabers.
Exactly, no lightsabers, which is nuts to think, right? Home Dude says Max here on YouTube has the team, and I can't see that icon. Okay, so we have gone on and on, man, and I appreciate you hanging out and talking some of this Star Wars news. Like I said, I just wanted to get your opinion, um, and I want again just to address it because I had a few comments on Instagram, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't be sharing rumors anymore, but it again, guys, it is what it is. It's just for fun.
Mhm.
I didn't say it. I just shared it. I should have known better. Next time, I'm gonna put rumor every other word, in the post just to make it super super obvious. Um, but again, we my policy now is like you said. I'm not gonna get excited until I see, not even a trailer, because people in London got trailers for everything that we just talked about. They
Yeah.
saw Acolyte, they saw a Skeleton Crew, right? So we know it's there, we know it exists. It's just why won't you give it to us, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so I was gonna say I won't get excited until I see a trailer, but honestly, that's not even it. Like I won't be excited until I see it, with a hard date of when it will drop.
Mhm.
Honestly, eh, like I said, just historically, Disney is just not doing great when it comes to Star Wars movies. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with this. So once again, and to wrap up, remember to please follow Maclunkey here on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok. Amazing YouTuber, great guy, great member of the community. Once again, you mark my words, this man is gonna blow up here pretty soon. So you want to follow him now, get in on the ground level, so he remembers you when he makes it all big. And so please go check him out, go follow him. Check out some of his reviews, which are amazing. I do, and like I said, thanks to him, now I'm thinking of spending a lot more money. Um, but I would also greatly appreciate it if you can follow me on Instagram at general.kenobis.bunker. Check us out also on TikTok at general_kenobis_bunker. And also, if I may, oh, look at that. Oh, I gotta
Oh,
get the
let me
solo. Oh, I
there
love
we
that.
go.
Appreciate it,
It's
man. Thank you
cold,
so
so I had to
much.
wear this over it,
No,
but
I hear you. It's kind of cold out here. It's actually dropping the temperature.
yeah.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for that. I appreciate
Oh,
the
yeah.
support. Guys, if you want to get your own good-looking T-shirt from General
Yeah.
Kenobi's Bunker, yeah, check that out. So go ahead, check out my link tree over on Instagram, and you will find the link to get your very own gorgeous General Kenobi's Bunker T-shirt. So make sure to check that out. Appreciate you for that, man.
Yeah.
So last comments here just before we wrap up. Wolfwood 3230 says, I really wanted to do movies about the Old Republic. Dude, they have so much to do. Like they could do 10 movies, based on that stuff.
Minimum.
It's just, oh yeah. Hey, we got Rex from Millennium Workshop saying, "Good evening, bro. What's going on, man? Thank you so much for coming in. We're about to wrap up here." Saying hi to everyone and Rolando. Thanks
Oh,
again, Rolando, for all the hard work, all the links dropped. I appreciate you. And once again, guys, if you saw a link here, please make sure to check it out, especially Maclunkey's links, please. Rex saying, "Sorry, I missed the show." No worries, man. No worries. Thank you for coming in, though. Appreciate you. So that is going to do it for this first guest spot of the year 2024. Again, it still sounds kind of nuts to say. I don't know why. I'm having a hard time with 2024. Anyway, so thank you so much, Maclunkey, for being here. I really appreciate it, man. We
it's an
will
honor.
definitely be in touch. We expect great things from you. I cannot wait now that you told me to see that content from Shadows of the Empire. It's
I'm
gonna be
excited.
so dope. So I'm really, really excited for that. Guys, once again, make sure that you are following him on all his socials. On YouTube, make sure you hit that notification bell. Check him out when he goes live to discuss some of this, Star Wars topics every other weekend, Saturday or Sunday. So again, make sure that you have that notification bell activated. All right. With that, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. Hope that you have an amazing rest of your week. Hope that you're staying warm. Okay. Stay safe out there. Be good to one another, and we'll catch you on the next one.